Good evening, San Diego. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis, and thank you for tuning in for your CBS 8 Plus weather update. The story was still the excessive heat across inland areas with widespread 90s as well as triple digits being felt out there. And these were our highs for today. You had 92 degrees for Escondido, 95 degrees for Valley Center, 99 for Mount Laguna, 113 for Borrego Springs, and a new record for Campo that was set. Wanted milder conditions? You were at the coast with those 60s and 70s. Now, in that record for Campo, it's the second time that we've seen this week. We had yesterday, it was Ramona at 100 degrees. Today, Campo at 110 broke the record by 4 degrees. So definitely still feeling that heat, unless you're closer towards the coast. And so this is the view from our Mount Soledad cam, as we've been seeing a very stubborn marine layer. And it's that high pressure system that creates a more shallow marine layer. So the low clouds as well as the fog right along the coast and even for downtown. We're going to see that coverage as we go into the overnight hours all the way through tomorrow morning. And that's going to keep things pretty regulated along the coast. But the big weather impact is still for inland areas. When you talk about these hot highs that we've been dealing with over the past week, and still anticipating that for the next couple of afternoons, at least for the desert and through tomorrow, and that will also be for the inland valleys. So you're talking 90 to 120. It has been hot out there, and as mentioned, even some records have been broken. We're also looking at elevated fire weather concerns through Friday because of this ridge of high pressure bringing in the heat, and a chance we could see an isolated thunderstorm or two over the mountains by this weekend. So the excessive heat warning for the desert continues for the next couple of afternoons, and then by 9 p.m. on Friday night, it's a wrap. We are still looking at an excessive heat warning for the inland valleys as well as for the mountains. That will continue through tomorrow night. So holding on to excessive heat at least for one more afternoon for those areas. It's all because of this stubborn area of high pressure that's still around. It's going to slowly move towards the east, and that will allow for an area of low pressure to move in. And so that's going to add in some of that humidity that we're going to feel by this weekend, and more cloud cover is going to lead to a slip in temperatures. But as we are talking about the heat, ways to beat the heat, drinking plenty of water, also maybe having some cold foods, as well as fruits that contain water. Also being cool by using fan, air conditioning, seeking cool zones. We've been talking about that throughout the month as we have been dealing with a whole lot of heat, and then being mindful of your pets. So making sure maybe they get some ice cubes. Also, if you can't keep your hand on the pavement or the ground for about 10 seconds without taking it off because it's too hot, you should not be walking your pets. Maybe pick them up if you have to take them somewhere, or make sure that they are not walking on black asphalt, because the temperature might be in the 80s or 90s, but it's going to feel like triple digits for them, and that could lead to some burning on the paws. We don't want any of that. So just be mindful over the next couple of months as we're still talking about summer here. Now, when it comes to those overnight lows, you still have those widespread 60s west of the mountains, and also the 70s across the mountains. 88 degrees looks to be the overnight low, and that's how we're going to get things started tomorrow morning for Borrego Springs. Then you get to those daytime highs, still locked into triple-digit heat for Campo by tomorrow, still with the 70s right along the coast, and also those 90s across inland areas. 117 for Borrego Springs for your high tomorrow. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the surf forecast. So if you're thinking about beating the heat right along the coast, I don't blame you. You have a water temperature of 69 degrees. You also have the surf about 1 to 3 feet and a low risk of rip currents at our local beaches. So for the coast, when it does come to our daytime highs, they're going to stay locked into those 70s, and overnight lows locked into those 60s all the way into next week. So we still have the morning fog expected for coastal communities for Thursday as well as Friday. Morning cloud cover with the marine layer returning, then that afternoon sunshine that's going to be out there. At times, we actually could see the cloud cover hanging on just a little bit longer, especially into the afternoon hours. So maybe not a total clearing when it does come to some passing clouds out there. But you're still locked into those 70s all the way into next week, 77 degrees for Saturday and for Sunday. And that would be for the coast. You still have a weather impact alert day for tomorrow for the excessive heat for the inland valleys, still looking at those 90s. Then we get right back into those 80s. That starts on Friday and lasts all the way into next week, even getting down to the low 80s, so 84 degrees, so low to mid 80s there by Wednesday of next week across the inland valleys with the morning cloud cover, and then seeing that afternoon sunshine. For the mountains, we are still looking at the heat for tomorrow. So a weather impact alert day for Thursday. You have the excessive heat warning all the way until Thursday night at 9 p.m. And you're still looking at some heat for the mountains by Friday. But we don't have an excessive heat warning anticipated as of tonight, as of Wednesday night for that day. That could change, but as of right now, you're still looking at some hot highs, but no alert. Just keep that in mind. Then by the weekend, as I mentioned, an area of low pressure is going to kind of move in a little bit more, pushing that area of high pressure, that big ridge we've been dealing with, a little bit more towards the east. As that happens, that allows for a little bit more of a monsoonal pattern to establish itself and a little bit more of a southerly flow. So that brings in a little bit more moisture. We see some upper level clouds with the heating of the day. We could see those clouds building over the mountains, those cumulus clouds, and the slight chance that we could see a thunderstorm or two as temperatures dip down into those low 90s and stay in that range at least through Monday, back into the upper 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week for the mountains. You still have the weather impact alert days next couple of days. You're still in the 1 teens for the desert. And then we have the excessive heat warning expiring. That's going to be on Friday night at 9 p.m. Then you gear up for next week. By the weekend, temperatures come down a little bit more. Isolated chance we could see a thunderstorm or two just trickling a little bit more in towards the desert, right along the desert mountain slopes. And then also those temperatures, as mentioned, coming down a little bit more. You're looking at 108 by Sunday for the desert. And that trend keeps going into the start of next week. So finally backing away from the excessive heat by next week. We will continue to keep you updated in your forecast. Of course, I hope you have a great night. And well, Evan will see you right back here with the next update by tomorrow morning.